Hokage Saga, Invincible Power by Sacrificing Emotional Intelligence. Like, share and subscribe. Episode 101, Shiraishi smiled. You probably got a question wrong. First of all, Sasuke is not as weak as you expected, and second, even if you are stronger than Sasuke, the gap between you and Sasuke is far less than the gap between you and me. You can't look at other ordinary candidates. But, in my eyes, you are no different, you understand? Maybe their strength will not exceed 5, but your strength will not exceed 10. And my strength is 100, do you think, 5 and 10, for me, will there be a difference? Hearing this, my AI Luo's face sank. I don't know why, AI Luo found that he was especially prone to anger when facing Shiraishi, and as a human pillar force, once he was angry, it would lead to the leakage of tailed beast energy. It may even enter the state of a half-tailed beast, but this is not in line with the plan of Sand Hidden Village. Now I love Luo's identity, and I can't be exposed yet. I will not grant your request. Two emotions appeared on Sasuke's face. One was anger. His opponent did not look at himself at all, but ran to provoke Shiraishi, who was sitting in the spectator. But after hearing Shiraishi's words, seeing my arrow's ugly face, Sasuke was a little darker. Hey, from Shine Village, can you still fight? If you don't fight, you will directly admit defeat, you will not be confident in your own strength, you will come up with this way to avoid fighting me, not confident? Iroh turned his head, looked at Sasuke, and sneered. Just because of you, you also deserve to make me unconfident? A cloud of sand floated next to my arrow. Well, since Shiraishi should not fight, then I will solve you as quickly as possible and let him see that the huge gap between me and you is not at all like what he sees. Examiner, can we start? I don't know that Hojenma glanced at Sasuke. Sasuke nodded. Begin. The next moment, the two moved at the same time. But the difference is that Sasuke moves himself, while I love Luo Mo only sand. A cloud of sand moved with my arrow's thoughts, constantly flying, finding Sasuke's position, and attacking Sasuke at a very fast speed. Sasuke's expression was a little serious. This I love Luo, it is indeed not weak. Much stronger than Naruto. It may be almost the same as the previous white stone, but it should be far inferior to the current white stone. A look of firmness appeared on Sasuke's face. I can't win such an opponent, so how can I catch up with Shiraishi and defeat that man? I had to cross this hurdle. The next moment, there was a little change in Sasuke's body. Chakra attribute change, Ray. Using the chakra of the class attribute, stimulate your body muscles and greatly increase your speed. One after another, after images appeared behind Sasuke. So much so that I love Luo Sand, and I can't keep up with Sasuke anymore. I didn't expect this Uchiha kid to be so fast. I love Luo to be a little more serious. But it still won't be my opponent. The strongest shield I have, you can't break it at all, this alone makes me invincible. For this, AI Luo has absolute confidence. 1 blow, 2 blows, 3 blows. Sasuke's fists landed on Era's body one after another, and a series of sounds of fists colliding with the sand sounded. The audience outside broke out with cheers. Beautiful. Intense. Is this a bit of a ninja battle? What are the two games in front? You can't watch it at all. Hearing this, Naruto was upset. What can't you see? Didn't I hit badly? It's a pity that no one paid attention to Naruto. AI Luo clasped his hands to his chest and looked at Sasuke lightly. It's useless. Your attack can't break my defense at all, this is my absolute defense, not only you, but also Aoki Shiraishi, none of you can break my defense. With this, I can't lose. Such an attack is of no use except for wasting physical strength and chakra. The corners of Sasuke's mouth tugged. However, Sasuke knew that what AI Luo said was true, and he really had no way to rely on such an attack. So he broke my AI Luo's defense, the Sharingan I had been opened, and Sasuke was aiming at the weak points of my AI Luo's defense. Even if this is the case, it still cannot be broken. In that case, then you can try this trick. Originally, I didn't plan to use this trick, but I had to wait until the time of the competition with Shiraishi to take it out. But if I don't beat you, why talk about fighting Shiraishi? I have to win this battle. The next moment, Sasuke stopped. A burst of chakra converged towards Sasuke's right hand, thunder flashed, and a sharp chirp sounded. Kakashi's famous ninjutsu, Thunder, Chidori. Kakashi, did you even teach him this? It's almost time. Kakashi glanced at Matkai and said, aren't you, didn't you even teach Shaoli the trick of the 8-gate Dunjia? Now Shaoli is still lying on the hospital bed, because Shaoli can use it, only that. Matkai shook his head and said, if there is any other choice, I will not do this. Shiraishi next to him glanced at the two. Aren't they just two little ninjutsu? Especially the one Sasuke is using now, he can't even enter the Book of Seals, does such ninjutsu need anything to pay attention to when teaching? Kakashi. 8 doors Dunjia, it's the one Shaoli uses, it's quite interesting to watch, But it's completely a move to kill 1,000 enemies and self-damage 3,000, this thing, it doesn't make much sense. Matt K. No EQ event trigger, talent plus 12. Speaking of ninjutsu, that's right. Kakashi remembered something. Shiraishi, what kind of ninjutsu did you use when you competed with Naruto? Who taught you, what ninjutsu? Shiraishi thought for a moment and said, I named this ninjutsu dual mobile phone gun, and no one taught me, I just improved the ninjutsu of phone gun vacuum jade a little. Improve? Kakashi's eyes widened a little. This ninjutsu was created by Shiraishi yourself? It's not about creating, it's just a few changes on the basis of vacuum jade. But it's different, it can be counted as two ninjutsu. Kakashi was a little surprised. At the same time, a guess appeared in his heart, could it be that Shiraishi only practiced for 3 days this month, and the remaining 27 days were all modifying the ninjutsu of vacuum jade? 27 days to create a new ninjutsu? In that case, it is not at all a lack of effort. It's just that Shiraishi's progress is much higher than that of ninjas of the same age. Episode 102, outside, most of the audience's attention was attracted by the ninjutsu in Sasuke. What is it? Heavy sense of oppression, sharp shrill shouts, flashing thunder and lightning, you can't go wrong, this is the famous Konoha copy ninja, Kiki Kakashi's famed ninjutsu, Chidori. I learned such ninjutsu at this age, I deserve to be a person of Uchiha, it's too strong. The brat of Shine Village, he is going to lose. The expression on my Ailua's face became slightly more solemn. However, Iroh does not think that he will lose. This ninjutsu is indeed good, but my defense will be stronger. This is the strongest shield that belongs to me alone. The next moment, Sasuke rushed towards Aira. The sand condensed into the shape of armor in front of my arrow. In Sasuke's eyes, Sharingan's eyes were flickering. Click. Finally, the two collided, and Sasuke's arm pierced into the armor of the sand, constantly going deeper. Little by little. Break it for me. Sasuke yelled. Sand and Lei are at a stalemate. Bang. A violent sound exploded. The strong momentum fluctuation spread out in all directions. Unbeatable. Boom. The audience outside involuntarily leaned back. The next moment. Sasuke's figure quickly retreated. I love Iroh to back down as well. The dust was scattered, and it could be clearly seen that a large hole had been opened in the armor of the sand on my era, which was caused by Sasuke just now, and a streak of blood appeared from my era's cheek. In the fight just now, it was Sasuke who had the upper hand. Chidori broke the defenses of my arrow. And it successfully hurt my love Luo. Although it was only a minor injury. However, for my AI Luo, even this kind of small injury, he can't accept it. Unforgivable. I'm going to kill you. It actually hurt me, looking for death. A strong malice, murderous aura, was released from my AI Luo's body. At this moment, AI Luo is not like a human, but more like some kind of beast. A special chakra, slowly, was released from my arrow's body. Not good. Kankuro and Tamari's faces changed. On my AI Luo's body, there are already signs of tailed beasthood. But now is not the time. Sasuke's eyes were grim. Can't beat the hysteria? How naive, same as I used to be. But now, I wouldn't do such a childish thing. Only by admitting that you are weak, can you keep getting stronger. I didn't understand this truth before I met Shiraishi. But now, I know. Sand Ninja Boy, I'm stronger than you. Not only in terms of strength, but also here. Sasuke pointed to his chest. This game, you lost. And Sasuke was about to attack Iroh again when suddenly. Above the stands, a violent exclamation sounded. It's seeing. A figure came to the side of the ape, flying sun. It's the Wind Shadow. But now, Wind Shadow revealed his true face. It's not the Wind Shadow, but the Big Snake Pill. Sarutobi-sensei. Finally waiting for this moment, let's settle things between us once and for all. 4 figures, quickly approaching here. A large array appeared, shrouding the two in it. 4 purple flame arrays. A very strong large array. If people outside want to get closer, they will inevitably be injured by Xian. Unless there is an ability to restrain this. But among the many ninjas present, there were none. Naruto-sama. For a moment, the venue was chaotic. There were attackers everywhere, and the whole venue became a mess. Not only the venue, but also large psychic beasts and ninjas from Sand Hidden Village appeared outside of Konoha. This is a premeditated war. Kakashi came to the side of the 4 purple flame array. How's it going? Can't see, can't break, can only wait for the result inside. I hope Naruto-sama can win. Alas, I didn't expect such a thing to happen. Sand Hidden Village, the Great Snake Pill, these two are actually joined together. It's too much. The Great Snake Pill won't be the opponent of Lord Hokage, right? The person next to him hesitated. Probably not, after all, it's Naruto-sama. But Naruto-sama is already old. No one spoke anymore, and everyone fell silent. A few of you, stay here first, I'll deal with other places. Yes. The ninjas agreed. Kakashi is not only a shinobi, but also one of Konoha's high-ranking people, the leader of the Dark Army, and now also has very good power and reputation. Teacher, long time no see. Orochimaru grinned. Ape Fei looked deeply at the big snake pill. Orochimaru, why? What why? Why did you come to Konoha? At that time, I really should have killed you. I shouldn't have remembered that little bit of old love. You have been preparing for this operation for a long time. What do you want to do to Konoha? Do what? Orochimaru sneered and said, of course, it is to destroy the entire Konoha. Sarutobi-sensei, you are too naive. I will prove to you that such a village is not worthy of existence at all, and I will build a village that is much stronger than the current Konoha. Besides, I'm here for revenge. I was expelled by you in a way of extreme humiliation. I'll always remember that. Sarutobi-sensei, just make me happy with your death and blood. Ape Fei's expression was extremely solemn. I will stop you, at any cost, I will stop you. Then Sarutobi-sensei, let's try it. The corner of the big snake pill's mouth curved and said, by the way, Mr. Ape Fei, you have accepted another good disciple this time, and the talent is much stronger than I was back then. Please rest assured, I'll raise him to be someone like me. You. Don't hurt Shiraishi, you can't stop it. The big snake pill raised his hand and said, no matter how powerful a genius is, before he grows up, he is just a genius. Last time he was lucky, but next time, his luck will definitely not be so good, because even Konoha is no longer there. Suddenly, a voice interrupted the two. That pervert who is neither male nor female, are you talking about me? Hearing the sound, the big snake pill and the ape flying sun chop looked at the same time. Shiraishi. Aoki Shiraishi. Ape Fei looked pleased, but immediately became worried again. Shiraishi, why are you here? The big snake pill licked his lips and said, I didn't expect you to take the initiative to send you to the door, just this time to solve you together, let you see the death of teacher Ape Fei with your own eyes. You will understand that there is no hope for following such a teacher. People have to rely on themselves to change their destiny. And I will be your true life mentor. Episode 103, I'm sorry, I don't think you deserve it. Unworthy? Orochimaru's face sank. Shiraishi, don't be too arrogant. Last time I didn't expect you to bite this level of ninjutsu with a water dragon, and you would be hit by your sneak attack if you were unguarded. Don't think that if you master a ninjutsu, you can defeat me. The real me is much more powerful than you think. Shiraishi shrugged his shoulders and said, it's hard to say who is more powerful between me and you now, but even if I can't defeat you for the time being, you can't beat me. But what makes me different from you is that you have reached your own limit. And I'm just getting started. Orochimaru's eyes narrowed slightly. I can't beat you? Of course, I can't be wrong. Then give it a try. Orochimaru's gaze returned to Sarutobi Hinata's body. Teacher Ape Fei, today is a good opportunity, in that case, let you meet the deceased. After speaking, the big snake pill slapped on the ground. Psychic. After that, two coffins emerged from the ground. Dirt rebirth. Ape Fei rethought of something, and his heart jumped. Big snake pill, shouldn't you? What should it be? I just did what a person who pursues the limits of ninjutsu should do. The corner of the big snake pill's mouth curved a little. Sarutobi-sensei, meet your teacher, and the generation. Above the coffin, a crack appeared. Bang! The top covers of the two coffins were directly overturned. Two figures were revealed. One, long black hair, male, wearing black clothes and red armor. The other one, white hair, wearing black clothes and blue armor. The two Hokage of Konoha. Generation 1 and 2. Between the Thousand Hands pillar, as well as between the Thousand Hands. Ape Fei's face sank. I didn't expect that Orochimaru, you actually learned this ninjutsu. And it also summoned the first and second generations. It's too much. Blasphemy the dead, great snake pill, I can't forgive you, today, I must kill you. Orochimaru smiled. Teacher Ape Fei, you want to kill me, I also want to kill you, then let's each rely on our own skills, see who can kill each other, but I estimate, the probability is that I killed you. After all, you are already old, and, in the face of these two former division commanders, how much strength can you exert? Is the name of the strongest Hokage in all times true? Only those of us know that this is just a joke. The ape flying sun chop became even more ugly. I never said, I'm the strongest ever. In terms of strength, I can't compare to the previous generation. In terms of ability, I can't compare to the second generation. However, I want to protect Konoha's heart, the same as they are. The Thousand Hands pillar and the Thousand Hands pillar opened their eyes, and the two were a little dazed for the first time. Which is it? What's the situation? Sunchop? Why are you so old? Senju thought of some possibility. Is it a rebirth of dirt? Sarutobi nodded and said, yes, teacher, I'm sorry, I didn't live up to your expectations. It was one of my disciples who stole this ninjutsu and reincarnated you. The big snake pill pointed in the direction of the ape flying sun. Stop talking so much sensational nonsense. One generation of adults, second generation adults, obey my orders, kill the ape flying sun. Qianzhou's face sank. You dare to command me? Since you used dirt rebirth, then you should know who invented this ninjutsu. Of course I know. The corner of the big snake pill's mouth curved. It's just that my filthy soil rebirth has been improved, so, second generation lord, you are still at ease, go and fight for me, kill that person. The thousand-hand pillar looked at the ape flying sun, and his face showed an apologetic expression. Rickhop, I'm sorry, we can't control ourselves. It's okay. Ape Fei reshook his head and said, it's not your fault, it's the big snake pill that's wrong. Suddenly, a pool of water stains appeared at the foot of the thousand hands. One by one, the water column suddenly went up, rushing the figure between the thousand hands into the air, and in the middle, the water converged, turning into the shape of a dragon, and the blood basin opened widely. Click. A bite of hard tore over. The water dragon bites and bursts. The figure between the thousand hands fell to the ground and fell to the ground. Most of the body has been damaged, but under the effect of the art of soil rebirth, it is slowly and little by little recovering. Senior Kuruma, how is my use of this technique? I heard that this technique was invented by you. Senju looked at Shiraishi. You are? I'm Aoki Shiraishi, barely a disciple of the third generation, although the old man didn't teach me anything, and he was still stingy and picked a ninjutsu from the Book of Seals for me. Ape Fei Rechop's expression was a little embarrassed, but he still explained immediately. Sensei Kuruma, Shiraishi is my disciple, not from the Great Snake Pill. Senju nodded and looked at Shiraishi, his eyes softened a lot. Water dragon bite? That's right. Senju glanced at Shiraishi. It can be seen that Shiraishi's talent is very good. At this age, the Japanese slash will give you this ninjutsu, which is a recognition of your talent and strength, and you used it just now. Is there anything you don't understand about this ninjutsu? Nope. Shiraishi shook his head and said, this ninjutsu is too simple, I only read it once and learned it, there are no difficulties and places that require special attention. Senju-kuma. No EQ event trigger, talent plus 16. Shiraishi's eyes lit up slightly, not bad. Time is limited, so it's time to find a way to work hard to get a little more. Otherwise, it will disappear in 1,000 hands. For his own ninjutsu, Senjutsu certainly knows about it. Is it easy to bite a water dragon? Of course, it is not simple, otherwise how could it be listed as one of the forbidden techniques? Sarutobi explained again. Kuruma-sensei, Shiraishi's talent is very good, better than anyone I've met before, all ninjutsu, Shiraishi can master as long as he learns it once. Senju raised his eyebrows. So powerful? So what do you think of this ninjutsu? General. Shiraishi said, there is no feature, just make a few water jets, and then add a strong water dragon bomb. To be honest, I think the invention of this ninjutsu is suspected of being lazy. The corners of Senju's mouth twitched. Is it really good to belittle like this in front of yourself, the inventor? Ahem, Shiraishi, the combination of ninjutsu was originally one of the ways to create new ninjutsu. In addition to this ninjutsu, Shiraishi, have you learned any powerful ninjutsu? Senjuma didn't really want to continue the topic of water dragon bite. Episode 104, no, the old man won't teach. It's right not to teach. Senjutsu glanced in the direction of the ape flying sun slash and said, at your age, learning too much ninjutsu is not a good thing, and learning a certain ninjutsu first is the right way, but the water dragon bite is already specialized. Senju-kuma. Shiraishi paused for a moment and said, by the way, senior, since you invented this, how about you demonstrate it to me with this ninjutsu? Good. Senju nodded. Preparing to seal. Suddenly. The movement between the 1,000 hands is stuck. Chakra does not circulate well. This body reborn in filthy soil is not good. Senjuma immediately judged what the problem was. Senior? Shiraishi couldn't help but ask, have you forgotten? The order of the nodding is like this. Shiraishi said the order of the water dragon's bite and the 1,000 hands. Senju-kuma, this is a ninjutsu I invented, how could I forget? Qianzhou glanced back at the big snake pill and said, the big snake pill's improved rebirth of dirt is not so perfect. I can't even play 1/10 of my strength before I was alive. Beat us now. On the other side, this problem was also found between the 1,000-hand pillars. Ape fly, hurry up and seal us. Take advantage of the fact that we are not very strong now. I feel that my strength is slowly recovering. Orochimaru frowned. It seems that you can't continue talking nonsense. Up, the first generation, the second generation, kill the ape flying sun, and capture that little ghost alive. The next moment, the thousand-hand pillar and the thousand-hand pillar were all under the control of the great snake pill. One rushed towards the ape flying sun. The other rushed towards Shiraishi. Be careful. Ape flying sun gritted his teeth. Psychic. A cloud of smoke exploded, and an ape appeared next to the ape flying sun. Ape demon. A psychic beast of the ape flying family. It is not comparable to the three holy places, but compared to other psychic beasts, it is already much stronger. It is much stronger than Metke's ninja turtle and Kakashi's ninja dog. Ape Fae, what is the situation? The great snake pill used filthy soil to reincarnate, and channeled the first and second generations. The ape demon's face sank. This guy actually played with the dead. I have long seen that he is not right. You should have killed him back then, so as not to bring so much trouble to yourself now. Sarutobi shook his head. It's useless to say that now. Old fellow, help me, I can die, but Shiraishi, you must live, and you can't be taken away by the big snake pill. The ape demon nodded. Got it. Shiraishi looked at Senjutsu, who rushed towards him. If it is said that Sarutobi Hinata is a doctor of the ninja world and has learned countless ninjutsu, then Senjakuma is a great inventor, and many very excellent ninjutsu were invented by the second generation. The famous ninjutsu of the fourth generation of Wave Feng Shui Men, the art of flying thunder god. The artistic pursuit of the big snake pill, the rebirth of dirt. There is also the water dragon bite explosion that Shiraishi learns, and the art of shadow doppelganger. A water gun appeared in the hands of the thousand hands. Shiraishi raised his hand. Senior, offended. It's okay, come on, the sooner you beat me, the better. The next moment, countless bullets similar to vacuum jade appeared from Shiraishi's fingers. Suddenly. Very fast and continuous. Senju's eyes widened a little. This scale of ninjutsu surprised Senjutsu. And more importantly, I have never seen it in 1,000 hands. You improved the vacuum jade? Yes. Alone? That's right. Shiraishi nodded and said, no way, the old man refuses to teach me more ninjutsu, I can only improve the ninjutsu I have learned. Senju's eyes lit up. One person can improve vacuum jade to this extent, you are very good. And being able to use so much in a row, you also have a good grasp of chakra's control, and your own physique is also very good, after all, you can have such a huge chakra. By the way, what's your last name? Shiraishi replied. Aoki. Aoki? Senju frowned and said, I haven't heard of it. Civilian ninja? How can a civilian ninja have such a huge chakra? This is impossible, the end of this world is still a bloodline-based world. Suddenly, 1,000 hands thought of a possibility. Wait, Aoki, shouldn't it be a descendant of our Senju clan? The Senju clan is different from other great ninja families, and under the arrangement between the Senju pillars, they continue to intermarry with commoners, and there are fewer and fewer people who really maintain the Senju surname. Many of the bloodlines of the Thousand Hands clan have been given other forms. And the two words Aoki, at a glance, will make people think of Muduan. Shiraishi, do you have any family tree in your family? Nope. What about the family? It's all dead. Senju was silent for a while. After that, he turned his head to look at the side between the Thousand Hand pillars. Big brother, look at Baishur, is it possible to flow the blood of our Thousand Hands clan? Among those clansmen you scattered out back then, what is Aoki's surname? Senjakuma scratched his head. I don't remember. Do you see what he looks like to me? Senjakuma. Sarutobi said while fighting between the Senju pillars, Sensei, I also suspected that Shiraishi was from some ninja family, and I deliberately investigated it, but I didn't find any results. Listening to the teacher, this seems very likely. The surname Aoki appeared suddenly, and the time of appearance seems to be the time when the Senju clan and the commoners merged. It may be that this Thousand Hands clan people worship a generation of adults and your Muduan, so they used the two characters Aoki and made a new surname. Senju nodded. That's right, only this explanation. How can an ordinary person have so many chakras? Big brother, I was very opposed to the integration plan you proposed back then. But now it seems that your integration plan is not worthless. Senju looked at Shiraishi. Shiraishi, now I can already be sure that you must have the blood of the Thousand Hands clan flowing in you, and you are a descendant of our Thousand Hands clan, but you don't need to change your surname. When this matter is over, go find Tsunade, he will give you something suitable for you. Senju turned to the ape flying sun. Sarutobi, how is Tsunade doing now? Ape Fei-ri showed an embarrassed expression. Sensei, I'm sorry, I didn't handle it well. Tsunade is not currently in the village, but traveling outside the village, and has not been in the village for many years. It's a casino, right? A sentence suddenly interjected between the Thousand Hand pillars. Episode 105. Most of the time it is. Sarutobi said. My granddaughter, spoiled by me. Senjakuma scratched his head and said, Shiraishi, after finding Tsunade, you have a little more burden, she has a lot of bad habits. Orochimaru's face sank. Still reminiscing? When I don't exist at all? It was to see the big snake pill seal again. This time, the eyes between the thousand-hand pillars and the thousand-hands pillar were completely dimmed, and the two had completely lost consciousness and turned into puppets controlled by the great snake pill. Mudan, the tree realm has arrived. The next moment. Countless trees grew from the ground, and the entire purple yen array turned from a flat piece of land to a forest. Orochimaru came behind Sarutobi Hinata. Ding! A sword was taken out by the big snake pill. A sword slashed at Ape Face Sun. Kusanagi sword. Extremely sharp. Ape Demon. Ape Flying Sun Chopper shouted. Understood. It was to see a burst of white smoke explode, and the figure of the Ape Demon took the initiative to turn into a stick. Vajra Stick. This is a special ability of Ape Demons. It can be transformed into a long stick made of King Kong and fought against the Kusanagi sword. Ape Fly, hurry up, I won't last long. Okay, I'll do my best. Shiraishi's vacuum jade bullet landed on Senjuma's body. A bullet, a hole. After being injured, Senjuma's movements became noticeably sluggish. This is one of the disadvantages of soil rebirth. However, as time goes on, it will slowly recover, and if you don't solve the big snake pill and seal the dirt reincarnation, the dirt reincarnation will exist forever, and no one can compare with the dirt reincarnation. But Shiraishi was pinned down. Shiraishi, who does not have the sealing technique, cannot cause fatal damage to the Senjakuma in the face of the filthy earth reincarnation. A smile appeared on Orochimaru's face. Sarutobi-sensei, you're going to lose soon. At the same time, in the face of so many strong enemies, with your body, you have long been unable to hold on, now you are just holding on, in fact, there is really no need. Take your life. No one can save you. Orochimaru said, turning to Shiraishi again. Shiraishi, do you realize it now? The huge gap between me and you, it's just that I don't want to calculate with you that day. Do you really think that you will be my opponent? Surrender to me. Shiraishi glanced at Orochimaru. Water Dragon Bite burst. A pool of water appeared at the foot of the big snake pill, and the water column rose, washing the big snake pill into the sky. A water dragon violently bit towards the big snake pill. Landing, the big snake pill quickly got up from the ground and straightened his bones. Aoki Shiraishi, it's good. In the future, you will know how naive you will be for what you did today, and how much you will regret it today. Orochimaru's face completely sank. Baisher shook his head and said, Big pervert, do you know what talent talks the most nonsense? What? Waste. Shiraishi said, only waste, like nonsense, normal people, to do things, just do it, say so much and do what? Only waste, without confidence in the heart, will say so much. It's the same as a coward who likes to speak loudly in the dark, just to embolden himself. Humph, tongue-in-cheek little ghost, wait for the fate you are about to face. Ape Fei-ri looked at the two figures in front of him, gritted his teeth, and made a decision. Shiraishi, exchange opponents, I'll contain the first and second generations, the big snake pill, it's up to you, Ape Demon, you go and help Shiraishi. The Ape Demon hesitated. But Ape Fei, you are alone, facing the first generation and the second generation at the same time. It's okay, I can still withstand it. Ape Fei-ri said, only by solving the big snake pill can we break this dilemma, the big snake pill is too familiar with me, I can't solve the big snake pill in a short time, good. The Ape Demon came to Shiraishi's side. Shiraishi, how do you need my cooperation, just say. Shiraishi shook his head. No need, I've already found a way to defeat the great snake pill. What way? Shiraishi looked at the large snake pill on the opposite side. Just fight to consume, chakra of the big snake pill, not as much as me. Orochimaru, after all, is just an ordinary ninja. And Shiraishi already has a physique equivalent to the Whirlpool family. The amount of chakra is much stronger than the big snake pill. In addition, Shiraishi's double phone turned off the gun, which was a ninjutsu that Orochimaru had to use chakra to resist. This ninjutsu after the advancement has much fewer shortcomings than before. As long as I continue to attack the big snake pill with all my strength, then the big snake pill will inevitably fall into the downwind. This guy is just a strong ability to escape, and the attack ability is not very strong. Then consume until he dies. Shiraishi stretched out his hands, 10 fingers, and the chakra on them were all surging. A storm seemed to form at this moment. Bullet storm. 10? 20? No. In an instant, almost hundreds of bullets poured out at the same time. Shiraishi's all-out shot, the place he shot past, no matter what it was, dirt, stones, or trees, was destroyed. Orochimaru's face changed. So many? A single bullet is nothing. Similar to vacuum jade. But when the number reaches hundreds, thousands, quantitative change causes qualitative change. Under such a storm of bullets, the big snake pill did not dare to resist. Old monkey, help clean up the corner. Old monkey? The ape demon's face turned dark, but he did it anyway. Now is not the time for tantrums. The common enemy is Orochimaru. The ape demon does not want to see the ape flying sun / die here today. Okay, I'll go. The big snake pill ran away madly. Constant shifting of positions. However, Shiraishi firmly locked the location of the big snake pill, and no matter where the big snake pill went, he could see it. Damn little ghost, there are so many chakras? After using ninjutsu in this way, Orochimaru felt that even if it was himself, it would soon dry up, but Shiraishi seemed to have no signs that chakra was about to see the bottom, but the more courageous the battle. It's really enviable, jealous. The big snake pill suddenly remembered the conversation between the Thousand Hands and the Thousand Hands pillar just now. Could it be that this little devil really has the bloodline of the Thousand Hands clan? Orochimaru's eyes flickered. Originally, the big snake pill planned to wait for the white stone chakra to be exhausted, but now depending on the situation, it will not be able to wait for this result for a while, so the big snake pill changed his thinking. Ceiling. 10,000 serpent luo array. The next moment, countless snakes surged out from the ground and swarmed in the direction where Shiraishi was. See if you have more bullets or more snakes. Bullets and snakes collide. Flesh and blood flew outward. Episode 106, Fight Consumption? Shiraishi shook his head and said, Orochimaru, your chakra is not as much as mine. Facing an opponent like me, if you want to defeat me, you can only take a one-move winning approach. However, what you are good at is escape and survival, and when it comes to attack, you are not good at it. Maybe it's Jiraiya, and it's possible to defeat me, but you can't. Orochimaru sneered. You mean, I'm not as good as that crane tail? Crane tail? Shiraishi showed a surprised expression and said, that's not what I told me. He said that you are the tail of the crane, and he has been better than you since he was a child. Fart. Shiraishi waved his hand and said, I don't know what happened to you back then, but I only know that now, you are not Jiraiya's opponent, and that's enough. So, I believe more in Jiraiya's words. Orochimaru. If you want to say that in this world, if the big snake pill still cares about a few people, then it is also one. Hearing such words at this moment, Orochimaru was very angry. No EQ event trigger, talent plus 23. Little ghost, don't get carried away. I've eaten more salt than you've eaten, what's the use of chakra? But you simply don't know how to use it properly, now your consumption rate is much faster than mine. If you go on like this, can you really hold on until you win? Shiraishi nodded. This is what I calculated, my chakra amount, between 4 times and 6 times your own, so, my current consumption is completely acceptable, your consumption rate, is not even a quarter of mine? Orochimaru's face changed. This is indeed a problem. Why the big snake pill hates the bloodline is this reason, because he doesn't have it. If you don't have it, you will be jealous. If you don't have it, you will hate it. Orochimaru had to face this problem squarely, that is, if it was so consumed, he might really not be Shiraishi's opponent. As Shiraishi said, he is good at running for his life and surviving, and does not have too strong attack ninjutsu. It is certainly possible to deal with people who are not as strong as themselves. However, Shiraishi's strength is strong. A water dragon bites and explodes, a double mobile phone turns off the gun, and in terms of attack methods, it is no weaker than the big snake pill. This is the restrained relationship between different fighting styles. Take a simple example. Now Zillai, there is no way to take the big snake pill. Orochimaru and Shiraishi will lose to Shiraishi in a war of attrition. And if Shiraishi and Jiraiya fight, there is a high probability that it will be Jiraiya who will win. Orochimaru happened to meet Shiraishi, an opponent he least liked to deal with. Shiraishi has more chakra than the Great Snake Pill, which allows Shiraishi to consume it without scruples. This made Orochimaru can't help but think back to when he faced Uchiha Itachi. After a round of confrontation, you will lose yourself. So young junior, he is not the opponent of the other party? Bloodline, is it really so unfair? For the first time Orochimaru hated the bloodline. And Shiraishi now is younger than Uchiha Itachi at that time. Orochimaru's face sank. Suddenly, Orochimaru looked to the other side. The direction where the ape flying sun chop is. In the face of the joint attack of the first and second generations, the ape flying sun gradually became a little unsupportable. Although the first and second generations, not the strength of the complete body. But the ape flying sun chop is also not a heyday. The current ape is already old. Very old. Moreover, the strength of the ape flying sun chop itself is not as good as the first and second generation. One is the god of the ninja world. One is the invention and creation of countless ninjutsu, many of which are forbidden. Orochimaru's face softened a little. Then let's see, me and teacher Sarutobi, who can last longer? Sarutobi noticed the sight of Orochimaru and Shiraishi. Shiraishi, don't worry about me, I can hold on, you can attack the big snake pill with all your strength. Shiraishi nodded. Water dragon bite burst. Shiraishi found the precise location of the big snake pill, did not hesitate, and immediately lost a water dragon bite. The figure of the big snake pill flew into the sky again. This made Orochimaru feel very humiliated. A senior of his own hall, one of the three ninjas, was actually beaten by a 13-year-old shinobi. Obviously, last time, this sub-patience was far from his opponent. Even last time, Shiraishi had already mastered the water dragon bite explosion. But what really caused trouble to the big snake pill was not the water dragon bite, but Shiraishi's mobile phones turned off the gun. The strong, it is impossible to use it without restrictions. As long as there is a time gap, the big snake pill can find a chance to recover the state. But the latter, almost non-stop. Let the big snake pill not even have a chance to breathe. Big snake pill, your speed seems to have slowed down, can't you? Shiraishi adjusted his strategy. No longer ongoing large-scale attacks, but intermittent. One moment strong, the other weak. Constant change. This made the big snake pill even more uncomfortable, because the consumption of white stone was reduced, but his defense against white stone could not be reduced, because once his vigilance was reduced, maybe what he would wait for would be an overwhelming attack. At this time, this 4 red yen array could not help the big snake pill very much, and it also became a constraint for the big snake pill. Seeing this, the ape demon abandoned Shiraishi's side, and instead supported the location where the ape flying sun slash was. Orochimaru's face became ugly. Because at this point, it was basically announced that Orochimaru's plan had failed this time. Continue to consume, see who loses first, between yourself and the ape flying sun? The big snake pill looked at the direction where the ape flying sun chop was, a little unsure. The state of the ape flying sun chop seemed to be able to continue to persist, but it was becoming more and more difficult for him to persist. This environment is really not suitable for me. Orochimaru made a decision. Retreat. The big snake pill suddenly turned around. A doppelganger blocked in front of Shiraishi. And the big snake pill himself rushed towards the ape flying sun. This was Orochimaru's last attempt before leaving. The attack of the big snake pill, the first generation, the second generation, and the 3 people, and at the same time fell the ape flying sun. Bang! A violent collision sounded. Boom! The whole ground shook. The 4 Otobi received an order from Orochimaru and cancelled the 4 purple flame array. The first and second generations, under the control of the big snake pill, pounced on the people outside. And taking advantage of this opportunity, the 4 of Orochimaru and Otobo left quickly. The outside was already a mess, and there was no one to stop it. The first and second generations gradually regained a little awareness. Sarutobi, you and Shiraishi are still alive, it's good. Shiraishi, remember what I said, go find Tsunade. As soon as the words fell, the figures of the first and second generations disappeared, turned into powder, and dissipated into the air, little by little. The Great Snake Pill lifted the rebirth of the soil. Episode 107, Poof. Seeing the big snake pill leave, Ape Fei slashed his heart. Suddenly, a mouthful of blood spurted out. A big beach. The ground in front of us was all dyed red. Naruto-sama. Shiraishi stepped forward and looked at the ape flying sun with some worry. Old man, shouldn't you just die? Ape flying sun grinned. Don't worry, you can't die. Shiraishi, it's fortunate that you're here this time, otherwise my old bone would definitely have to be explained here. Shiraishi waved his hand. No thanks, no matter what, you are also my teacher, although not a very responsible teacher. I have mastered the water dragon bite explosion and sneaking in the soil. Give me another ninjutsu. Good. Sarutobi nodded. When I finish dealing with the affairs of the village, I will help you choose a suitable ninjutsu. As the big snake pill retreated, the ninja of Oto Ninja Village and the ninja of Sand Hidden Village gradually retreated. The situation in Konoha stabilized. But skirmishes continue. Sasuke is chasing Aira. Hey, we haven't decided the winner yet, so we ran away? Can't you people from Shine Village afford to lose like that? Idiot. Aira glanced back at Sasuke. Sasuke froze. This sentence was often said by Sasuke to Naruto, because Naruto often did things that were incomprehensible to normal people. Now hearing Iroh say this to himself, Sasuke was furious. Coward, come down and fight. A burst of chakra poured into Sasuke's legs. Thunder and lightning are swimming. Sasuke's speed accelerated even further. The distance between the two is getting shorter and shorter. Don't force me. I don't want to waste time here with you. But Sasuke still insisted. Chidori. A sharp chirping sound sounded. Sasuke raised his palm and stabbed at Era. The penetrating ability of lightning is stronger than any other attribute technique. Defeat. A wound appeared on my arrow's forearm. Bright red blood flowed from the wound. Find death. A strange chakra surged out of my arrow's body. The sand began to emerge involuntarily. Sasuke frowned. What is it? As the sand spreads, my arrow gradually becomes less like a human being, but more like a monster. It was something Sasuke had never seen before. You're not human? Uncle Ben is certainly not you low-level humans. Remember, human, Uncle Ben is a tail, the top of this world, one of the 9-tailed beasts. Moreover, it is still the strongest one among them. There was a hint of vigilance in Sasuke's eyes. Ikkyo? Tailed beast? What is that? For the tailed beast, Sasuke didn't know much. But, I won't lose. The only one who can make me admit defeat is Shiraishi. The half-tailed beastized Iai Luo has lost his consciousness, but is controlled by the Shoha, and the current Shoha only hates humans. There are no other emotions. Human, die. Shoha's figure became bigger and bigger. Sand covers the surface of the body. A powerful momentum erupted from Shoha's body. Bang! The surrounding trees were all overwhelmed. So fast. Moritsuru stretched out his palm and slammed it at Sasuke. Boom! A heavy voice sounded, and Sasuke had tried his best to dodge, but he still couldn't completely dodge. Suddenly flew out upside down. It hit the tree trunk hard. Click! The trunk breaks directly. So strong. Sasuke felt a little regret in his heart. What the hell is this? Shizuru's palm came directly above Sasuke. As long as he took it, then Sasuke would definitely die. Will I die? No, I can't just die. Sasuke gritted his teeth fiercely. Suddenly, Sasuke felt a sharp pain hit his neck. It is the spell mark of the Great Snake Pill. A place along the bite of the large snake pill began to spread around Sasuke's body. The momentum on Sasuke's body is rising. Shoha's eyes narrowed slightly. Kind of interesting. However, just to this extent, how can it be your opponent of Uncle Shoha? Shizuru slashed down with a fierce palm, and Sasuke's momentum that had just risen was extinguished again. Smash it down. The whole person was embedded in the dirt. Poof. Sasuke spewed out a mouthful of blood. Shizuru did not stop, but slashed again. Bang! Sasuke's body sank deeper. Just do it again and Sasuke will die. Sasuke. And at this moment, a yellow figure was coming towards this side at an extremely fast pace. Multiple shadow doppelganger technique. The two collide. Shizuru's arm was broken. Splitting towards Sasuke's position, a gap appeared. As a result, Sasuke survived this attack by Moritsuru. A Naruto shadow doppelganger appeared next to Sasuke, picked Sasuke up, and left quickly. Your opponent, it's me. Naruto stood in the way of Moritsuru. Sasuke was protected by Naruto. The figure at the tail of the crane, at this moment, in Sasuke's eyes, turned out to be very tall. But Sasuke wasn't pleased. It's shame. He was actually saved by a crane tail. Does this mean that you are not even as good as the tail of the crane? Here comes one, here comes another, you Konoha people, it's really endless. Shoha snorted coldly. In that case, then I will kill you all. Naruto's shadow doppelganger rushed forward. But this time, the effect was not very good. Naruto's shadow avatars are certainly numerous, but the quality is not high. Facing such a huge size as Shoha, it is basically impossible to cause damage. The previous time, but Shoha didn't pay attention. Now Shizuru's attention has all fallen on Naruto. Bang! 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 A series of shadow doppelgangers disappeared. Naruto flew out upside down. Not an opponent of Shizuru at all. A little ghost, still want to defeat Uncle Ben? Dreaming. Kill another imp first, then kill you. Shizuru moved his huge body. Absolutely not. Naruto saw Moritsuru heading towards Sasuke and became furious. A strange breath flowed from Naruto's body. Red chakra, floating on Naruto's surface. Psychic. Naruto slapped the ground hard. It must be successful. Suddenly. Boom. The ground shook. A huge figure appeared in front of Naruto. Huge, compared with Shoha, he is not panicked. An extremely huge toad. Toad Bunta. Naruto? Shoha saw Toad Bunta, and his eyes narrowed slightly. It's you rotten toad again, I didn't expect you to be dead yet. Humph, you are not dead, how can I die? Episode 108, two huge creatures collided together. Toad boss, come on. Naruto, you kid is causing me trouble again, and when this incident is over, I have to teach you a good lesson. Naruto. Naruto and Sasuke were of little use. Sasuke's eyes widened. This was summoned by Naruto? Why? Why does Naruto have such great power? Sasuke thought it was incredible. By what? He is a genius, he has worked so hard, and as a result, he has failed again and again. Look at Naruto. A crane tail not only mastered the ninjutsu of multiple shadow avatars, but also does not need other means. A multiple shadow avatar can solve most opponents. Now such a huge creature has been summoned. Sasuke understood that he was no longer Naruto's opponent at all. This fact made it difficult for Sasuke to accept. A person who used to lag far behind himself is now surpassing himself. Abominable. Sasuke clenched his fists fiercely. Naruto had a look of gratification on his face. Fortunately, it worked out this time. Otherwise, Sasuke and I might really have died just now. But it's a pity that I didn't succeed in the last time I competed with Shiraishi, otherwise I might have won Shiraishi. Hearing this, Sasuke sneered in his heart. The arrogant crane tail, surpassing me is not satisfied, and even thinking about surpassing Shiraishi? Why don't you say you're going to be the strongest ninja in the world? The battle between Toad Bunta and Shoha, the others could not participate at all, two huge creatures. The aftermath of the battle can make the nearby environment suffer a devastating blow. Countless trees were destroyed. Ruins appear one after another. The place where Naruto and Sasuke were both seemed to have become an island. Psychic beasts, can they be compared to my great crane Shoha? Shizuru was a little impatient. It's you now. More sand, swarming towards Toad Wentai. Wrapped around Wentai's body. Wentai's figure was hindered. Naruto. Wentai fell into a disadvantage and instinctively wanted to get the psychic to help. But Naruto didn't know how to help at all. Boss Toad, what should I do? Give me more chakra, that kind of chakra. Which kind? That's the kind. Naruto realized what it was and nodded abruptly. I know, I try my best. Naruto condensed vigorously, mobilizing the chakra in his body. A faint red color appeared on Naruto's body. Naruto's face turned red. Suddenly. Poof. A look of embarrassment appeared on Naruto's face, and the red chakra on his body dissipated at an extremely fast speed, and all the previous accumulation was lost. Boss Toad, I'm sorry. A look of shame appeared on Wentai's face. Naruto, you, forget it, I don't care about you. Shoha's attack landed on Toad Bunta's body, and a streak of blood splattered from Bunta's body. Bang! Toad Wentai turned into a white smoke and disappeared. Toad boss? Naruto's heart jumped. On the one hand, I was worried about Toad Buntai. On the other hand, because of the absence of Toad Bunta, the targets of Moritsuru's direct attacks are Naru and Sasuke. Sasuke was already seriously injured. Naruto wasn't sure that he could protect Sasuke. Damn it. Naruto's face showed a solemn expression. Moritsuru's figure, approaching Naruto. Naruto's eyes flickered. I love Luo, sober up. This voice fell, and Shoha's figure suddenly stopped. Naruto's face was delighted. It worked. So, Naruto continued to shout, I love Luo, sober up, don't let this monster control you, you are human, our body, our destiny, you must control it in your own hands. Actually, I'm just like you. I'm also a human pillar force. I understand how you feel. Because the two of us went through the same thing. Shoha's eyes struggled. Shoha's will and Aira's will are in confrontation. Konoha's imp. A look of anger appeared on Shizuru's face, and he slapped it fiercely at Naruto's location. Bang! And at this very time. Suddenly. A pool of water stains appeared at the feet of Shoha. The water column rushed up. Even such a huge body as Shoha left the ground. It proves that the impact of this water column is so strong that ordinary water duns can do it. The water column gathered in midair, condensed, and turned into a dragon. Naruto and Sasuke's eyes lit up. Water dragon bite burst. It's Shiraishi. Shiraishi's figure fell in front of Naruto and Sasuke. Such a defective product, you can't beat it? Shiraishi glanced back. Sasuke clenched his fists. Naruto was not convinced. This is not a defective product, this is a tailed beast, a tailed beast. And I've been in a stalemate with this guy for a long time just now. At least, I'm doing much better than Sasuke. Shiraishi, don't underestimate him, maybe even you are not his opponent. Sasuke gritted his teeth. Shiraishi shook his head and said, of course I can't be his opponent, except for chakra, this defective product has no merit in any sense. The effect of the water dragon bite disappears. Shotsuru's figure fell to the ground. Wet all over. The sand became heavy because it got into the water. Some parts of the body fell directly. Shoha's eyes showed a hint of jealousy and anger. Here comes again, you Konoha people, it's really endless. Kill you all. Shiraishi looked at Moritsuru. If you are completely physical, maybe you can really do it, but now you are not in the right state, can you play half of your real strength? This level is not my opponent. Shoha's eyes narrowed. Not your opponent? A human imp can really talk big, try this. Wind escape, refining air bombs. A shell was fired at Shiraishi at great speed. It's very strong. But to put it bluntly, it is just an enhanced version of vacuum jade. A larger vacuum jade. Shiraishi raised his hand. Turn off the guns with both phones. A single bullet is not an opponent of the air bullet, but dozens, hundreds of them, can compete with the empty bomb. The two collide. A shrill friction sounded. That's it? Shiraishi said, I said, now you can't be my opponent, if I were you, I should turn around and run now, so that is the right choice, run? Shoha was furious. You're still the first human to taunt me like that. Good. Today you don't die, my name of Uncle Shoha, write it upside down. Episode 109, I don't care about this thing, you want to write it upside down, just write it upside down yourself, it doesn't affect me. You. Shoha was even more angry. Born as a tailed beast, Shoha has only experienced such chi in front of the 9 tails. The human in front of him didn't take his tailed beast seriously. What's wrong with humans now? The previous humans, even if they imprisoned me, were in awe of me. Why is this person just an ordinary mob? The ninjutsu in Shiraishi's hands kept stopping. Countless bullets shot towards Shoha. The sand on Shizuru's body kept falling. Naruto reminded Shiraishi. Shiraishi, such an attack is useless, it can't cause fatal damage to him, he can recover, and the chakra of the tailed beast is much more than us humans. Shiraishi nodded. I know. I'm just testing this monster, don't you think this monster is a good target? I have already thought of a way to defeat this monster, but such a target is difficult to find and cannot be wasted. When these words fell, Naruto and Sasuke's eyes showed a touch of disbelief. The two had fought with Shoha, and they were well aware of the strength of this monster. Huge body, great strength. Sasuke really couldn't think of how to defeat this monster. And Naruto, the whole cards are all out. The technique of multiple shadow avatars was slapped to death by Shoha like a fly. Even the Toad Buntai summoned by the psychic art is not Shoha's opponent. This one is more of Naruto's problem. Naruto dragged down Toad Bunta a little. Otherwise, Toad Buntai can at least last a little longer. The two knew that Shiraishi was strong. However, to be honest, neither of them felt that Shiraishi would be stronger than Shizuru. Especially Naruto, after channeling Toad Bunta, Naruto felt that he was already more powerful than Shiraishi. Why did Naruto compete with Shiraishi before the Naka Shinobi final? It was because of the contract with Toad Bunta that Naruto's self-confidence exploded. But what is Shiraishi talking about now? A way to defeat Shizuru has long been found. Now he just used Morozuru as a target. Shiraishi is so strong? If the two hadn't known that Shiraishi never lied, they would definitely think it was a lie. But even so, the two of them didn't believe it for the first time. Shiraishi, this monster is strong. Strong is relative. Shiraishi glanced at Naruto and Sasuke and said, compared to you, he is very strong, but compared to me, he is not enough to see the strength gap between us, you will not recognize it, right, Naruto, Sasuke? Shiraishi held out a finger. Eyes. The next moment. Phew. A wind bullet shot into Shoha's eye. Shizuru raised his arm. Poof. The bullet sank into Moritsuru's arm. Heart. 2 bursts. 3 shots. 10 fingers in a row. Shizuru felt like he was being teased. The person in front of him does not regard himself as an equal enemy at all, but is teasing himself. It's abominable. Shameless. A tailed beast of his own. Reduced to this situation? Morozuru was furious. More check carrots condensed. Tailed beast jade. An extremely oppressive chakra sphere appears. Mix with yin and yang chakra in a ratio of 2 to 8. All tailed beasts can do tricks. Extremely powerful. Little ghost, die. The huge tailed beast jade crushed towards the location where the white stone was. Bang. But at this time, Shizuru suddenly saw. Shiraishi has changed. A puff of white smoke came out, and the white stone turned into a wooden stake. Wood? Avatar? Shoha was stunned for a moment. What's the situation? It wasn't until the tailed beast jade collided with the wood and crushed the wood into pieces that Shoha came back to his senses. Abominable. Abominable. Shizuru was so angry. I actually used a stand-in technique. Shoha was really angry, he condensed so many chakras and used the tailed beast jade. As a result, Shiraishi coped with a stand-in. What's going on here? Shoha felt that his fist seemed to hit the cotton, and there was a knife inserted into the cotton. Thick nausea, as well as resentment, was born from Shoha's heart. Shiraishi's figure appeared behind Shoha, with a disappointed expression on his face. I didn't expect you to even be able to see a stand-in technique. I thought you could tell. Now it seems that you are really worthless except Chakrato, and your brain is really bad. Shotsuru wanted to vomit blood. Human beings are shameless things. Originally, Shoha was very angry, and after listening to Shiraishi's words, he became even more angry. This is the mockery of Chiguoguo. No emotional intelligence is a peace trigger, talent plus 60. Shiraishi nodded. The hint of an increase in talent points had appeared before, and this Shizuru provided a lot of talent points, more than all the creatures Shiraishi had come into contact with before. It's a tailed beast. It's a pity that there are only 9. Shiraishi couldn't help but look at Naruto. But after thinking about it, I decided not to provoke it for the time being. After all, the one in Naru's body is much more difficult to deal with than Shizuru, and now Shiraishi's strength is not strong enough. After learning the sealing technique, you can operate it. Shiraishi closed his eyes. A tree appeared in Shiraishi's mind. Talent points remaining, 1123. It's time to advance in ninjutsu. Shiraishi has already selected ninjutsu. Escape, the art of stealth on the way. This ninjutsu, there are not many scenarios applicable, because the shortcomings are obvious. However, against Shizuru, Shiraishi deduced that the effect should be quite good. After progressing, the effect will be better. Shiraishi's thoughts moved. 1,000 talent points disappear. The next moment, the art of stealth in the earth changed. Advanced, activation of soil. Shiraishi opened his eyes. Activation of the earth. After that, the ground near Shiraishi softened. Shiraishi's figure entered the dirt. Very smooth. Moreover, Shiraishi did not feel breathing difficulties in it. This ninjutsu will automatically draw the air around you, supply Shiraishi, and let Shiraishi breathe. Compared to sneaking in the soil, this ninjutsu allows Shiraishi to dive deeper. And the speed of activity is much faster than sneaking in the soil. Underground? Shoha snorted coldly. Don't you know that what I'm good at operating is sand? Underground is my home turf. Shotsuru inserted 2 hands into the ground. The sand is constantly stretching underground, looking for traces of white stones. Shiraishi does not retreat. Take the initiative to approach Moritsuru. Activation of the earth. Shiraishi's figure came behind Shoha, and after that, he jumped up. The whole person crashed directly into Shoha's body. The body of the Moritsuru, formed by sand, is also one of the components of soil. It is also within the activation range of Shiraishi's ninjutsu. Episode 110, Shiraishi burrowed into Shizuru's body. To put it bluntly, there is not much difference from sand. Shiraishi activates Shizuru's body into a state where he can freely enter and exit, and as long as Shiraishi hides in Shizuru's body, then Shizuru cannot cause damage to Shiraishi. In this case, it is useless to keep the crane's chakra more than Shiraishi. Bang! Shoha slapped his palm on his body fiercely. Get out of here. Shizuru felt ashamed. But how could Shiraishi just leave like that? Shizuru can't hurt Shiraishi. But Shiraishi can hurt Shizuru. Now Moritsuru's body is like a pool, and Shiraishi is a person who dives in a pool. It's either flesh and blood, or some chakra, which gathers the sand together and produces some kind of subtle qualitative change, but in essence it is still chakra and sand. Naruto and Sasuke's eyes widened. Where did Shiraishi go? It seems to have drilled into the body of that monster. Naruto hesitated. I'll try. Naruto rushed towards Moritsuru. Crashed headlong over. Bang! Naruto stepped backwards, with an extra bag on his forehead. Abominable. Do you imps want to do that? Shoha was furious. Kill you. Shizuru slapped Naruto where he was. But at this moment, Shiraishi stretched out a hand. Turn off the guns with both phones. Dozens of wind bullets shot at Shoha's arm. Forcibly stopped Shizuru's movements. Naruto, get out of here. In your current state, there is no point in anything other than holding me back. Naruto's face turned red. Okay, I'll leave right away. Naruto distanced himself with Sasuke. Shiraishi continued to make trouble inside Moritsuru's body. Shoha's attitude slowly began to change, from anger to helplessness. Now it's a little deflated. No way. There really is no way. Shizuru can't do anything about Shiraishi now. It doesn't hurt Shiraishi at all. What are you going to do to get out of my body? Shoha gritted his teeth and reluctantly compromised. How about recognizing me as the master? Dreaming? That's nothing to talk about. You want to be my master, it's impossible, it's a big deal, I'll go back directly, let that kid from Shine Village talk to you, whether he dies or not has nothing to do with me. I'm definitely not going to die. You haven't mastered the sealing technique, you can't deal with me at all. This is true, if the human pillar force dies, the tailed beast does not die. Then you give me 3 promises, and help me do 3 things in the future. No, 3 is too much, 1. 2, at least. Deal. Shiraishi said, I'll go out now, after I go out, you can't attack me or the other Konoha's people, and leave Konoha's range immediately, okay. Good. Shiraishi walked out of Moritsuru's body. Without waiting for Shizuru to react, he immediately entered the dirt. Shizuru stared at where Shiraishi had disappeared, his eyes constantly flickering. Humans. Shoha wanted to slap Shiraishi to death, but Shoha knew that he couldn't do it. Shoha, remember, 2 promises. Humph, human little ghost, my Shoha uncle has always spoken and counted. It better be so. Shiraishi did not come out of the ground. Shizuru glanced twice, and went in the direction away from Konoha. This time it was hard to come out, and Shizuru wanted to take advantage of the fact that the people of Sand Hidden Village did not react, and made waves. In the outside world, Shoha has not seen it for too long. This time, I'm going to have a good time. A smile appeared on Shoha's face. But thinking of his promise to Shiraishi, Shizuru's teeth itched with hatred. This damn human imp actually uses such shameless ninjutsu. Abominable. Naruto and Sasuke saw Shiraishi and hurriedly greeted him. Shiraishi, how is the situation? It's been settled. Shiraishi said, Moritsuru has left Konoha, promising not to destroy Konoha again, not to continue killing Konoha's ninjas, let's go back to the village. Thank you. Sasuke bowed deeply to Shiraishi. If you hadn't arrived in time for Shiraishi, I might have died. No need. Shiraishi waved his hand and said, the strong should protect the weak, which should be done, Sasuke. Naruto was a little upset. Sasuke, why didn't you thank me? If I hadn't come in time, you would have died earlier, and it was I who sacrificed more than a dozen shadow doppelgangers to save you from the attack of Shoha. Sasuke suddenly clenched his fists. Humph, thanks. Is the attitude so perfunctory? Naruto was dissatisfied. Thank you. A little louder, I can't hear it. Thank you. That's pretty much it. Naruto was delighted. From the identity of the tail of the crane, he turned into Sasuke, the genius lifesaver, which made Naruto feel a sense of accomplishment. Although Sasuke, a small genius, is not as good as Shiraishi's big genius, it is still much stronger than other ordinary ninjas. And Naruto saved Sasuke. What does this mean? This means that he is already stronger than Sasuke. At the thought of this, Naruto couldn't help but get excited. Shiraishi, you have also seen my progress, right? Aren't you surprised? How long do you think it will take me to surpass you, over me? Yes, that's what I've been working towards. In the next life, there may be a little chance, there is no hope in this life. Naruto. Konoha regained its calm. Heavy losses. This is the heaviest loss since the last Nine Tails rebellion. I don't know how many ninjas were killed and injured. Even the ape Flying Sun Slash, who was a Hokage, was seriously injured. However, some people are not satisfied with this result. The village has been in possession for this operation for a long time, providing a large number of ninjas and psychic beasts. As a result, he failed to take Konoha, and the losses were huge. Not to mention that you can't get compensation, you even need to compensate Konoha. Orochimaru originally planned to kill Ape Feihi Slash, but there was such an accident as Shiraishi, he was beaten away abruptly, fled in embarrassment, and returned directly to Oto Ninja Village. Even more disappointed was Tuanzong. Big Snake Pill, this waste. Didn't you say that you can kill the Sun Chopper this time? As a result, Hinata is still alive and well. If the sun is not dead, how can I ascend to the position of Hokage? Tuanzang's face was gloomy. Wait. Why does it have to be a big snake pill? Can't I do it myself? A trace of unbearability flashed in Tuanzang's eyes, but soon it disappeared. This is my last chance. Hinata, don't blame me. Tuanzo looked up at the sky. I don't have many years left to live. Let me make it happen once, dream.